Hi, this is Cal Ripken Jr., and you're listening to the ML Sports Platter.
We are back on the ML Sports Platter, which is presented by Bryant and Stratton College. Visit bryantstratton.edu today and find out how you can start your future with a 2 or 4 year degree from Bryant and Stratton College. Academics, athletics, excellence, and a high standard right now and a lot of momentum. This place is really doing things right. It's also the official college and title sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. And to check out all their athletic schedules, information, new hires, you name it, bscbobcats.com. That's bscbobcats.com. Right now, it's a pleasure to bring in the brand new director of soccer operations and a coach, David Bove. He has just been brought on to the Bryant and Stratton wing in Syracuse area, James Street, and the North Campus right there on Carling Road off of 31. A couple of tremendous locations. If you are in Central New York and looking for that bright future, go to Bryant and Stratton College. And sometimes 20 years after high school, you can change your profession and get a new degree and start over. David Bove, welcome to the podcast. Congratulations, and really nice to have you.
Hi, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Give my listeners an idea of how you ended up at Bryant and Stratton.
It's actually it's kind of a funny story. I mean, not funny, but kind of unorthodox. I guess for me it is anyway. So I work at the general manager of the CNY Family Sports Center in Syracuse, New York, and I'd heard there was a possibility of a JV program, coming to Bryant Stratton, but I was pretty comfortable. I liked where I was, and I wasn't going to apply for it. And one day I had a colleague of mine that I've coached with for years. Just sent me a text being like, hey, this position's open. I think you'd be great at it. I hope you don't mind. I gave him your name. And sure enough, Nick, who's the athletic director of Bryant Stratton, came in one day and just stopped by the center, and we were talking about a few things, and just kind of came up to would I be interested. And I was like, oh, give me a day. No, I'm not sure. And went home and talked to my wife, and I got in contact with Nick, and the rest is just kind of history, I guess.
What excites you the most about Bryant and Stratton right now? Everybody kind of has their own spin on the momentum there, which there's a ton of it. But what excites you in the early going here, David?
In the early going, it looks like just being over there, everybody's really excited. I think they're really trying to do some great stuff over at Bryant Stratton. They're looking to expand. And I think this is a great way to do it, not only with the men's and women's soccer team, but also with the basketball program as well. I think it's going to be a really good thing. Just the excitement at the school and what they're trying to do. And it's always good when coming in, everything's fresh, everything's new, and everybody's great over there.
Do you have a certain recruiting philosophy?
I do. I coached at Lemoyne College in the early 2000s, and obviously this is a completely different dynamic to what Bryant Stratton is doing compared to Lemoyne. What I was thinking for recruiting kind of got tossed up in the air when I met with Nick and Alex over at Bryant Stratton. One thing that I wasn't really aware of is they have a great pipeline down in New York City. What we're going to be looking to do right now, my idea was, hey, let's try to expand here in, the central New York area. And it was very quickly, which I found out was, hey, we have a great pipeline down in New York City. That's where we're going to do a brunt of our recruiting. And then we're making our way back up to upstate New York. So.
Yeah, and there's that pipeline. I see it too on all the rosters. You just look through, and it's Queens, New York, Brooklyn, Staten Island. That's really great, really great. David Bove with us, of course, the new director of soccer operations and head coach for the squads and the Bobcats. And you can log on to bscbobcats.com to check out more as Bryant and Stratton College, of course, the official title sponsor and college of the ML Sports Platter. Give my listeners a little bit of your deeper background. You kind of, we started things off with how you ended up at Bryant, but High school, college, where you're from. Let's hear it.
Born and raised in Syracuse, New York. I grew up in Liverpool. Went to high school at Cicero, North Syracuse. Shout out to North Stars. And from there, I opted to go to Mohawk Valley Community College for a year. Great soccer program. Academics are good. My parents went there, and so did my brother. So, they were always on the back burner as a possibility. I ended up going there for a year. From there, I transferred to Cuca College, and I was there for a couple years, and I ended at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford.
The sport of soccer right now, where are we at in America? How fast is it growing? Is it slowing down in certain areas and growing more in others? Where are we at with the sport?
Yeah, I think there was a period where it was growing. And not to say that it's not still growing. I think it is. I think U.S. Soccer's done a really good job with some of their initiatives and what they're pushing right now. It's hard. Football kind of took a hit, but they're starting to come back a little bit with some of the initiatives that they're doing. Lacrosse is huge now in upstate New York. That's really growing. So overall, I think the state of everything is in good shape. What's difficult for me is, and I got to tell you, I'm a part of it. I coach for Syracuse Developmental Academy in Syracuse. One of the top clubs in if not the country. And where things are at right now, I'm sure a lot of people say the whole pay to play. It can be really difficult. There's a lot of kids that might not have that opportunity to play. If you look over in these European countries and even down in South America, a lot of their stuff is paid for. These kids are going into academies; they don't have to pay for anything. And that's where kind of you'll see a lot of players in the U.S. kind of get left behind. That's not to say that there's a lot of clubs that aren't trying to make a push to help out. But that can be a huge issue. I know, just recently, in the past 6 months, I've seen a lot of articles. There's been a lot of interviews going around about, the state of pay to play, in the United States.
I don't think that college athletes should be paid to play. I think it's tuition and all that sort of thing, room and board and all that.
I'm not even talking about college. I agree 100% with you on that.
Yeah.
I think these kids are going into college and these kids are getting scholarships. I think you got to look at, hey, listen, you're getting a free education.
Right, right, exactly.
You're not paying for anything, and you have the partial scholarships and all that. I'm just going along on the youth line. Yep. No, I totally
get it. And then I was adding the layer that I wouldn't pay him at the big time college football, basketball type thing. And but what I would do is you got to change it to allow kids to be able to work if they have time and they want to do that in the summer. And you've got to give them the opportunity that, look, if they are as big as Johnny Manziel, Zion Williamson, Carmelo Anthony, you've got to give them the opportunity, to go out and sign autographs and make $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
The entrepreneurial part, the entrepreneurial part I'm all in on, but at the same time, teach them a business class and go down that line, but don't pay kids,
Yeah, no, I always think back to, I'm a huge Michigan Wolverine fan. When that 30 for 30 came out about the Fab Five, and, they were talking about, Chris Webber was walking down the street in Ann Arbor with one of the reporters, and, you walk by the M-Den, and there's his jersey sitting in there selling for $80, and he's like, I can't even get a slice of pizza. It's that kind of stuff that,
Totally get it. Yeah. David, let's wrap up with a question just on your, first year expectations. Do you have a goal list in mind? Do you have expectations year one?
My first goal, is being a part of the program and Director of Soccer Operations is, making sure, we can find some good recruits and some good players to get this off the ground. That's got to be goal number one right now. I'm actually going down to New York City here at the end of April and I'm going to hit probably all 5 boroughs in 1 week. So it's going to be kind of like a whirlwind tour down there. The first time I'm down there, trying to talk to kids that might not haven't committed yet, and are looking for an opportunity. So that's goal number 1, making sure we can get our numbers up and making sure we have the numbers for these 2 programs. My second goal, is obviously making sure we can develop the players. It's a huge opportunity to have a JV program. It's something that a lot of teams don't have anymore, and it really gives kids a chance that are maybe 18 years old to kind of get settled in. Where these kids come in and they're 18 playing against, especially in our conference, the USCA Division I. There's a lot of older players in this conference. And it's very difficult for an 18-year-old to come in and play against a 22, 23, 24, some cases 25-year-old, player that's a grown man. So, that's goal number 2, making sure we're, in this first year, we're developing the kids the right way. And then, obviously you have the future goals, but, for me right now, we're just looking at the short term.
David Bove, he is with Bryant and Stratton College, Director of Soccer Operations and a head coach for the clubs. David, this was a lot of fun. I'd love to have you throughout the season upcoming.
Yeah,
good luck to you, and thanks for doing this, man.
Hey, thank you very much. Anytime, reach out, please. I've been more than happy to come and talk.
Log on to bryantstratton.edu and find out if you can get financial aid, if it's a 2 or 4 year degree that fits you. Whether you're coming out of high school or 20 years after the fact looking to change jobs, Bryant and Stratton College, every and you is the real place to get placed as well after graduation in terms of the workforce. BSCBobcats.com is the website for the athletic schedules. Again, BSCBobcats.com. I'm Mike Lindsley. This is the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College. Hit me on Twitter at MikeLSports. You can download, subscribe to, and leave feedback for this podcast, as well as a 5-star review all over the major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, as well as the Podbean app, YouTube, and Tumblr. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.